Your makeup bag isn't what you think it is. That lipstick you trust, that eyeshadow palette you reach for every morning, they aren't protecting your beauty. They're eroding it. Heavy metals are quietly accumulating in your system with every application. Contaminated formulas are stressing your already thinning skin barrier. The US FDA has detained multiple shipments of these exact products for exceeding safe lead limits. You are not in control of what's touching your face. Today, we're exposing the brands hiding dangerous secrets and giving you the safer swaps you deserve. Number 1, Sace Lady. You put this on your lips, you licked it off, you swallowed it. Every single day for years, you ingested whatever was inside that formula, and you never questioned it. Sace Lady has been flagged repeatedly for something that should terrify anyone who has worn their lip products: lead contamination. The US FDA Import Alert database documented multiple shipments detained between 2020 and 2022 due to excess lead and unsafe color additives. Health Canada's consumer product safety testing in 2021 found lead levels exceeding Canadian cosmetic safety limits in lip products. This isn't a rumor. This isn't speculation. This is documented regulatory action. Think about what this means. Every reapplication, after coffee, after lunch, after wine, deposited trace amounts of heavy metal into your system. Lip products don't stay on your lips. They migrate into your mouth. For women loyal to a shade for decades, this creates a cumulative burden that builds silently inside your body. You trusted the brand. You trusted the promise of beauty. What you received was chronic exposure to something your body was never designed to handle. The formula never evolved. Your exposure kept growing. Number 2, Handaiyan. The first time you felt that slight sting, you probably dismissed it. Sensitive skin, dry weather, not enough moisturizer. But when a product burns, stings, or leaves your face feeling raw, your skin is screaming at you. Handaiyan has been flagged repeatedly for exactly this problem: poor ingredient labeling, inconsistent batch formulation, and an alarming volume of consumer reports describing burning, rashes, and chemical irritation. The FDA import refusal reports from 2020 documented multiple shipments rejected for misbranding and unapproved color additives. The Campaign for Safe Cosmetics watch list flagged them in 2022 for poor transparency and repeated adverse reaction complaints. This is not about one bad batch. This is about a pattern. And here is what that pattern does to mature skin. Every time you experience low-grade irritation, you destroy your barrier a little more. Your barrier is what holds moisture in and keeps irritants out. At 40, 50, 60, your barrier is already thinner than it was at 25. It repairs more slowly. It tolerates less. When you use a product that repeatedly triggers microinflammation, you accelerate dryness. You accelerate thinning. You accelerate sensitivity. You accelerate aging. The damage doesn't announce itself with a single dramatic reaction. It whispers, it accumulates, and by the time you notice, the damage is permanent. Number 3, Imagic. Every morning, you blend color onto the most delicate skin on your face. The skin around your eyes is thinner than anywhere else on your body. It absorbs more. It forgives less. And Imagic has been putting that skin in contact with lead and cadmium. Independent lab testing by the Environmental Defense Fund and Global Consumer Safety Labs in 2019 found measurable lead and cadmium in multiple Imagic eyeshadow palettes. The CBC Marketplace investigation in 2020 confirmed heavy metal contamination in budget-imported cosmetics, including products from this brand. Cadmium does not leave your body easily. Lead does not leave your body easily. These metals accumulate in tissue over time. Around your eyes, this means chronic irritation. It means accelerated dryness. It means neurological exposure that compounds with every application. You thought you were enhancing your eyes. You thought you were adding beauty. What you were actually doing was depositing tiny amounts of toxic metal directly beside the most sensitive, most absorbent, most vulnerable tissue on your face. Day after day, year after year, decade after decade, tiny amounts, silently accumulating, building a burden your body was never designed to carry. Number 4. O.2.O. You opened the compact. You smelled something sharp, chemical, unfamiliar. You used it anyway. That instinct you ignored? It was trying to protect you. O.2.O has generated frequent consumer reports of severe irritation, strange chemical odors, and unstable formulations that behave unpredictably. The EU Rapex Safety Alert System listed them in 2021 for non-compliant preservatives and labeling violations. Consumer Reports International Import Testing in 2022 flagged inconsistencies between what the label claims and what the product actually contains. This is the betrayal that cuts deepest. You think you're avoiding toxins by reading labels. You think you're making informed choices. But when the label lies, your protection disappears. When ingredient lists are inaccurate, women with fragrance allergies don't know they're being exposed. Women avoiding hormone-disrupting preservatives don't know they're absorbing them. Women who have spent years learning to protect their skin suddenly find themselves defenseless against formulations that change from batch to batch. You did everything right. You read, you researched, you chose carefully, and still, the product betrayed you. Because accuracy was never a priority for the people who made it. Number 5. Bioaqua. You apply skincare to protect yourself, to nourish, to heal. But what happens when the product you trust is contaminated before it ever reaches your face? Bioaqua has received repeated regulatory warnings for illegal ingredient combinations and manufacturing standards that should alarm anyone. Health Canada cosmetic recall alerts. In 2020, documented products recalled for undeclared preservatives and microbial contamination risk. ASEAN Cosmetic Directive enforcement reports from 2019 cited multiple violations for formulation safety breaches. Microbial contamination means bacteria. It means fungal spores. It means organisms that thrive in poorly preserved formulas and transfer directly onto your skin every time you dip your finger into the jar. For mature skin, this isn't a minor inconvenience. Aging skin has weaker defenses. It heals slower. It inflames faster. Chronic low-grade infection creates persistent inflammation, and persistent inflammation accelerates every visible sign of aging. Wrinkles deepen, redness spreads, texture roughens. You're rubbing bacteria into aging skin day after day, believing you're helping yourself when you're actually accelerating the very decline you're trying to prevent. Number 6. Qibest. The redness you blamed on stress, the sensitivity you attributed to weather changes, the irritation you assumed was just part of getting older. What if it was never your skin failing you, but your products attacking you? Qibest has demonstrated poor ingredient transparency and generated high rates of irritation complaints. FDA import alerts from 2021 documented shipments detained for misbranding and unsafe pigments. Consumer Reports Asia in 2020 identified inconsistent formulation safety across their product lines. Irritating pigments do something insidious. They cause microinflammation you can't always see or feel immediately. But that inflammation triggers your skin's stress response. Blood vessels dilate. Collagen breaks down faster. Cellular repair slows. Over weeks and months and years, this invisible assault worsens wrinkles, worsens redness, worsens the thinning that makes mature skin so fragile. This is how skin quietly ages faster, not from dramatic allergic reactions, but from constant low-level assault that never lets your barrier fully recover. Your skin has been fighting a battle you didn't even know was happening. Number 7. Folkallure. Selected low-cost lines. Not every product from every brand carries the same risk, But when budget production lines prioritize cost over consistency, certain batches become dangerous gambles. Selected Folkallure low-cost lines have been flagged for inconsistent preservatives and color additive violations. EU market surveillance testing in 2021 found non-compliant preservatives in certain palettes. Singapore. HSA safety alerts. In 2022, flagged product batches for formulation inconsistencies that raise serious concerns. Preservative imbalance does something specific and dangerous. It allows fungal and bacterial growth inside your makeup. The formula might look fine, it might smell fine, but the invisible microbial population inside that compact is flourishing and transferring to your skin with every application. Young skin can fight back. Young skin has robust immunity and rapid repair, but older skin is more vulnerable. Its defenses are weaker. Its recovery is slower. When bacteria find an entry point through irritated or compromised mature skin, the damage compounds in ways that simply don't happen to younger users. Number 8. Romantic Bear. The name sounds playful. The packaging looks harmless. But the chemistry hiding inside tells a different story. Romantic Bear has faced regulatory action for illegal pigments and poor traceability, meaning even authorities couldn't reliably track what was actually in the products or where it came from. Health Canada's recall database documented lip tints recalled in 2019 for unapproved color additives that were never supposed to touch human skin, let alone enter the mouth. Illegal pigments exist outside safety testing for a reason. Their long-term effects haven't been studied. Their interactions with human tissue haven't been verified. Their cumulative impact hasn't been measured. When you apply these colors around your mouth and eyes, the most absorbent, most sensitive areas of your face, you're participating in an experiment no one designed and no one is monitoring. You trusted the color. You trusted the playful branding. You trusted the assumption that anything sold to you must be safe. The chemistry behind it told a very different truth. Number 9. Chic Decent. You loved the way it smelled. That sophisticated fragrance felt luxurious. It felt elegant. It felt like self-care. But fragrance is one of the most common triggers of dermatitis and barrier collapse in aging skin. And Chic Decent has been flagged for heavy fragrance loads, volatile solvents, and elevated allergen content. Campaign for Safe Cosmetics consumer testing in 2021 detected high fragrance allergen levels in their products. Fragrance molecules are designed to evaporate. That's how you smell them. But as they evaporate off your skin, they can trigger inflammatory responses. For mature skin already struggling with dryness, sensitivity, and barrier weakness, this isn't a minor irritation. It's a direct assault on your skin's ability to protect itself. The scent you associated with luxury was actually a delivery system for allergens that strip your barrier, trigger redness, and accelerate the aging process you're desperately trying to slow. The smell you loved may be destroying your skin from the inside out. Number 10. Ushas. This is the final betrayal on today's list, and in some ways, the most unsettling. Ushas has been flagged for frequent heavy metal detections and pigment contamination in their eyeshadow products. CBC Marketplace. Testing in 2020 detected lead in imported eyeshadows, confirming what many suspected. Budget production lines cutting corners in ways that deposit toxic metals directly onto users' faces. Lead doesn't announce itself. It doesn't burn. It doesn't sting. It doesn't cause immediate visible damage. What it does is accumulate. Every application adds to the total burden inside your body. Over years and decades of daily use, that burden grows, silently, invisibly, irreversibly. You thought makeup was beauty. You thought it was self-expression. You thought it was harmless decoration. What you didn't realize was that every morning you were adding to a toxic load your body was never designed to process. Now that you understand the risks, let's restore your control. Before I share these recommendations, I want to be completely transparent. I have no affiliation, sponsorship, or partnership with any of the brands I'm about to mention. These recommendations come from research and personal experience only. If you're finding this information valuable, take a moment to subscribe. It helps more women discover these warnings. A O.TWO.O house. After everything you've just learned, imagine a routine where you don't have to wonder what's really inside the formula. O.TWO.O House offers transparent ingredient labeling and operates under stronger regulatory compliance standards. Their products are frequently recommended in Allure Korea and Dermatology Times, and they manufacture under COSRX and Amori Pacific standards. Names associated with higher accountability. For women dealing with sensitive aging skin, dryness, or barrier damage from years of using problematic products, this brand offers a gentler philosophy. The formulas are designed with simplicity in mind. One limitation: some products still contain fragrance. Check ingredient lists if you're fragrance sensitive. But compared to what we just discussed, this is relief. This is control returning to your hands. Innisfree. When your skin has been through years of irritation, inconsistency, and contamination risk, simplicity becomes everything. Innisfree has built its reputation on strong ingredient transparency and clean beauty reformulations. They offer EWG-verified products and source ingredients under Cosmos organic standards for dry, thinning, sensitive, mature skin, exactly the skin that suffers most from the products we exposed earlier. Innisfree offers formulas designed to calm rather than aggravate. One honest limitation: botanical ingredients, while generally gentler, can still irritate some users. No product is universally perfect. But when you compare this brand to the regulatory violations, contamination risks, and heavy metal detections we discussed, the contrast is stark. This is a brand that evolved its standards while others stayed frozen in outdated, dangerous formulations. Laneige. For women whose skin has become dehydrated and reactive after years of exposure to problematic formulas, Laneige represents research-backed relief. This brand invests in formulation research and collaborates with dermatologists to ensure higher tolerability. They've earned Allure Best of Beauty awards and conduct clinical tolerability testing that budget brands simply don't perform. For aging skin struggling with dehydration, that tight, papery feeling that comes from barrier damage, Laneige's approach prioritizes hydration and repair over harsh, active ingredients. One limitation: higher price point. Quality costs more. But when you consider what cheap formulas have been depositing on your skin, the investment feels less like expense and more like protection. Misha. Premium lines only. Specifically, the premium lines. Misha's higher-end offerings feature stronger testing protocols and clearer ingredient disclosure than their budget alternatives. They've been tested by the Korean Dermatology Association for women focused on anti-aging and barrier repair, recovering from years of using products that accelerated rather than prevented aging. These formulas offer a different philosophy. One limitation: some lines still contain fragrance, so vigilance remains necessary. Not every product in the range will suit every user. But the premium lines represent a conscious step up in safety, transparency, and formulation standards that budget brands refuse to provide. What to do with this information now? Stop using any product from the brands we exposed today. Don't wait until you finish the tube. Don't convince yourself that one more application won't matter. Every application adds to your burden. Check your makeup bag tonight. Look at every label. If you see Sace Lady, Handaiyan, Imagic, O.TWO.O, Bioaqua, Qibest, Folkallure, budget lines, Romantic Bear, Chic Decent, or Ushas, remove them immediately. Replace strategically. You don't need to overhaul everything at once. Start with lip products. Those enter your body directly. Then eyes. Then base products. Prioritize the areas where exposure is highest and risk is greatest. Choose brands with documented regulatory compliance, transparent ingredient labeling, and manufacturing standards you can verify. The 4 alternatives we shared are starting points, not the only options, but they represent a different standard, a standard where your safety matters more than their profit margins. You are not powerless. You were deceived by brands that refused to evolve their formulas while your skin aged, your barrier weakened, and your vulnerability increased. Now you know. Now you can protect yourself. If this video opened your eyes, watch another one on this channel. We cover more hidden dangers in products women trust. Subscribe so you never miss a warning that could save your skin and your health. Stay safe. Protect yourself.